All right, fields and values, customer status, opportunity, A list, B list, C list. Serena, I'm going to pick on you. Where did you read that in a book, or you got that from a coach, right?
Actually, it was in a book.
It was in a book.
Okay.
Okay. So I got an email, and you'll learn, if you guys haven't already learned, if you have an idea for AddressTwo, that is how this software works. So Serena Kelly gets credit for this one. She said, hey, I'd like to have my A-list clients, my B-list clients, my C-list clients, and segment those out. One thing you're going to see in a second when we start doing querying is that these can be cross-queried. So I can say I'm looking for everyone who's a customer and who is A-list or who is not A-list. And that may be one way that you define your advocates, your champions. That's one way to do it. But opportunity is going to be either A, B, C, or D. Those are preset by the software. It's just a way for you to pick, hey, are these A-list, B-list, or these D-list means I doubt they're ever going to buy, but they're in here. It's a way to keep track of it. And then account manager. Does anybody have multiple sales? Chris.
Just real quick, all those drop-down arrows, I'm going to decide on what they
Yep.
say, right?
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yes. Yeah, so we're tagging. This is a really, really, really advanced way of you're a 1, you're a 2, you're a 3, you're a 4. We're actually saying you're a 1 pecan interested in this product and this product, you're an A-list client, and you're a prospect. Okay? We're telling, and then what I'm saying is, and I don't even junior hires would stand up to this, but your database will remember what they are. Okay? Imagine if you could, set up an entire team that way. You're telling people who they are, they'll remember who they are. Let the customer, let the contact segment itself. Account manager, does anyone have more than one salesperson or person that may be interacting with customers in their organization? Okay, some of us do. Account managers, that value will come straight from the user logins that you create. Do you guys know you can have multiple users and it doesn't cost you any more money? AddressTwo, the subscription price you pay is not per user. Go into the admin section, add additional users, your secretary, your admin, anybody that does dialing for you or cold calling for you or appointment setting for you, and you can assign account managers. So if you've got 2 different salespeople or 3 different salespeople, you can assign the account manager to that. That way, Joe can come into the office when he wants to make some calls. He can just pull up. He can say, I'm looking for all the people who are tagged as mine, my contacts. Get some watered down Coke in me, that'll help. All right, fields and values. Give you some examples. Overlapping values, I've kind of already done this. I want to make sure we understand. Online customer, I opened up a database one time. I was doing support for somebody, and I just happened to look at their customer status thing, and they had online customer, brick and mortar customer. Online prospect, brick and mortar prospect. Online lead, brick and mortar lead. And it's like, why would you do that? Those are the values they set up for status. Overlapping values means maybe user defined has 2 options, brick and mortar and online. And status just says customer, prospect, lead. Does everyone follow me on that? I want to see heads nod. I know I'm blazing through this. Definitely, as Chris did, interrupt me if you have any questions. Holler, raise a hand or something like that. But use overlapping values. The other example there, top customer. Not so, how would you even use that? Not so top customer. Use the A, B, C, and D. Use overlapping values when you need to. And I already mentioned this. Primary product is a suggestion. If you want to use that field for industry, myself personally, the way I use it is AddressTwo, Tech Market. You'll see that actually when I pop open my AddressTwo account to go into some of this stuff. Tech Market, because some of the consulting we do is specifically for high-tech businesses. And then graphic design. And the other thing you'll notice is that I can tag people with multiples. So most people are interested in AddressTwo, and they also may need graphic design. If I know they have an on-site designer or an on-staff designer, I don't have them tagged as a graphic design prospect. So I've got multiple options there. All right. Querying basics. Any questions on fields and values yet? No? Okay. I'm going to switch over. Pull up. This is the point at which I hope that I have already connected. I have. I'm on the wireless. Look at that. All right, we're going to log in here and go into some querying basics, and I need this in front of me so that I know what I'm supposed to talk about. All right, we are in my account. Basics. Fields, operators, and values. You'll hear me talk about that. What's a field? If there's 3 columns here. Which one's a field? First name is a field. Or last name is a field. Or title. I've broken these up into different sections so that we can use them differently. But we have account details. These are our fields. I would select a field of description. Operator is this drop down. Is not, contains, does not contain. I could say, let's say I want to give an endorsement. I have a good friend who does web development, and I'm going to give an endorsement to this guy. I want to find, when I send out that email, when I say, I'm going to recommend and highly recommend this guy, description does not contain web dev. Does that make sense? I can do that, and now my query is going to make me safe from offending someone. Or query contains, I do this every now and then. Sometimes we go after realtors. And I'm not sure if I put realty, realtor, or real estate, so sometimes I just put R-E-A-L-T. It's a keyword. It's going to be fine. Okay? If that string shows up in there, they're going to be in the query. So those are my operators. Contains, is not. Great way to think about is not. I use this quite often. Sometimes somebody may not be a customer, but it'd be really meticulous to go through and say, okay, so that I need to find everyone who is a lead, who is a prospect, who is this, who is that, or it's just faster to say status is not customer. Good example there. Making sense? Okay. Operators, and then of course the values. And your values are either going to be text, if that's what is appropriate for the field, or as these, like I said, were predefined values. It's going to give you the same options here. Querying basics. Has anyone ever written a SQL statement? Kathy, okay, Kathy has. And syntax. What and syntax means is, man, how would I describe this in an easy to understand? It's all of this criteria. When you're asking the database this question, when I build a query, because one thing I hope you realize is that this tool right here, we can use and enter more values than one. Right now, as I have it set up, it's going to find every person where the description contains real estate, or realt, R-E-A-L-T, and also is not a customer. It is and. The best way to help you understand this is here. I'm going to blank this out.
Both values at the same time.
Both values have to be true at the same time. Maybe this will help. I'm looking for Nick Carter. Or no, I'm looking for, I want to find Nick and Kristen. Both the people at Carter and Company, or both the people at AddressTwo. I have 2 options here. I can do first name is Nick and first name is Kristen. Do you realize that that is impossible to be a true statement? If the first name is Nick, it's not Kristen. I could do first name contains, and that's a possible statement, but my name would have to be Nick Kristen, and that's the only thing that's going to show up. Okay? So this is and syntax. We cannot do or syntax. The reasons get hairy. It's a matter of how you'd have to do parenthetical statements, and it would just be almost impossible because there's no way to know where that or shows up in the sequence of statements. So remember, this is and syntax. That may never come up, but I just wanted to make sure to make that point.
There's a checkbox for that. It's always in there. What you're saying. If you've
The-
got multiple fields, it's always going to be like the and syntax.
No, there's not a checkbox for that.
That's what it's trying to get.
No, this will always be and syntax. So if I come up here and I start declaring multiple different criteria, it's going to and syntax all those questions together and ask the database, find everyone whose first name contains Nick, company name is Carter, account manager contains me, and it's going to say, when it goes to the database, it will say, find everyone where their first name contains Nick, and company name is Carter, and account manager contains Nick.Carter. And it will always work that way. So you're structuring an advanced query. This is where it gets into making sure the contact segments itself.